Now, question, I was looking at something here, and I learned that when you were having a line or something, you went through a book about Egyptian mythology or something, and you saw the word Shai, and that's how the name came about.
The year after I played,
Mhm.
I mean, you just try to find out at Howard, you know, you try to find out as much information as you can.
Mhm.
So basically, you go into Moreland Spring Garden, which is our research center on campus.
Mhm.
You find different things, and we had a habit of finding Egyptian names and correlating those meanings to our process.
Mhm.
So I was going through the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and I wanted something to name my special,
Mhm.
who was on the line the next year.
Mhm.
And I came across his name, Shai, which meant personification of destiny.
Mhm.
So I named him that basically because this person was voted in, made it by one vote,
Mhm.
1413. And so everybody had these doubts about him. So I never let them forget it.
Mhm.
I'm like, these people have doubted you, have made you, try to diminish you. And I said, I want you to be that person that, goes above and beyond and make sure that everybody doesn't forget that you made it by one vote. And that's what I would tell them all the time. And so that's the name I came up with him. But
Mhm.
in the midst of naming our group, I kind of felt the same way about how the group started and how it came up out of the blue
Mhm.
and manifested into what it was. So that I was like, especially sorry if I'm not to use this name for our group. And he was like, I don't have a problem with that. But, he's like, I just want some royalties later on. It's like, yeah, sure. So that's how everything started with the naming of the group, his name.
What is? Tell me about Howard. What does this year, or this season, has definitely been a year of HBCUs. Uh,
Absolutely.
it's really been. Tell me, what did Howard? How did Howard inspire your group? What does Howard have that inspires people to grow and
Yeah.
to just do excellence? Like, tell me.
Well, I think for me, because my family had gone to Tuskegee,
Mm-hmm.
I understood the Black experience at the HBCU, and Greg had gone there. So I'd always gone to go see him on homecomings, and John and Joni, my first cousins. I would go see them and hang out with them. So even if I couldn't hang out with Greg, I
Mm-hmm.
was with John a lot during his college experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then they became alphas on campus.
Mm-hmm.
But because I had gone to Tuskegee pretty much from 81 through 87 every year,
Mm-hmm.
at that point, I was like, well, kind of seeing Tuskegee, I want to see something else, a little different. I kind of heard about Howard, never really knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Alpha Convention was in DC in 86.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually went to the campus. And as soon as I got on campus, I was like, this is it. Yeah, this is the place for me. I don't know why. There's nobody on campus. It's just me, mom, and dad. But I think this is it. And so I applied and everything and, applied to Hampton and a few other schools, Tuskegee. My dad wanted me to go to Tuskegee, of course. Had ends and everything. And Howard did me dirty because at first, all these other schools had sent their scholarship info and all this kind of stuff. Howard, never got anything. So I'm going to Howard with mom and dad
Mm-hmm.
in the car, not even knowing that the scholarship could possibly be there. And
Mm-hmm.
my dad's complaining the whole way. Why are we taking him to DC? We're traveling from Miami in a car all the way to DC. And as soon as we got there, like, oh yeah, Mark, we have a scholarship for you. And then my dad was like, okay, we're good. And I was like, well, why are you putting me through this? Because I have to fight for like this is the place I want to go. And mom fully supported me, and she was like, no, this is where he wants to go. So I think you should go where he wants to go. And so yeah, but you gotta make sure you have money where you need to go to. And so that money helped out. So I just knew it was the place for Howard is a place where there's so many people, not only from the United States, but from Africa, from the Caribbean. Um, you meet people you would never meet in any other type of environment. In the sciences, I met a lot of people. Of course, we come from Miami, so it's diverse anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
you meet the people. The son of the president of Jamaica is coming to Howard. The other people, it's the elite of the countries where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
They come there because the school it invites those people in, but they want those people to go back to their communities and help when they go back home because they already know 4 years is my fun time, which is school.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I'm going home to make my country different or to make where I'm from different. And I think Howard prepares you for that. And the thing is, Howard has, it's not only black teachers, it's all types of teachers.
Mm-hmm.
People come there from all over the world to get their research, their grants, and that kind of thing. So even though people think it's just a black only school,
Mm-hmm.
you could get taught by anybody. And that means a Stanford professor, I'm a professor like coming from Europe or that kind of thing. And my Spanish teacher is actually from Spain. So I
Mm-hmm.
learned not only Miami Spanish growing up, but I learned Spanish from Spain because that's what my teacher taught me in college. So whatever I thought I knew from Miami, no, I didn't know that. I'm going to learn another thing over here. But that's what Howard exposes you to. And there's a certain type of competition that the students have as well. So if you
Mm-hmm.
want to compete, there's a high quality debate team. You have athletics. You have, I mean, anything you want to get into is fine. But you also have the consortium of the DC experience where you have Georgetown, George Washington, University of Maryland, all the schools in Maryland, all the school, UVA. I mean, these people are all coming back and forth, or you could go to their campuses and hang out, which is what I would do. I'm going all over to just hang out and meet different people from all over the region. And it's so different than Miami. I just kind of fell in love with the environment. Um, so because of that competition factor, you knew you had to be the best to be noticed. You
Mm-hmm.
had to be the best to get out and go to the next thing, whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because I never knew that it would involve music, but that's where it ended up. I mean, the people who are there, I mean, they're lifelong friends, first of all, and then from that point, they're going to be the best of the best wherever they're doing all over the world. And I think our experience of being a group and being able to travel and see your friends in the beginning of their career journeys and being able to hang out with them and expose coming to a show, doing your thing too. It was a lot of give and take in that early career build up. And they got to see us early, but we get to see where they are now, and they're all doctors and administrators. And I mean, the president of Howard actually went to school with us.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, he's like a year above me, but he was actually the manager. Two of my Long brothers were on a soccer team that made it to the college finals.
What's his name?
Dr. Frederick.
Okay, okay.
Dr. Frederick, actually, who was a medical doctor at Howard University Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
He was the soccer manager during the soccer team run to the finals. I think that year was back in either 1990 or 91, one of those years. So for him to be president now, and actually, a few years ago, before my daughter actually went to Howard, I would actually text him on Facebook and be like, "Hey, my daughter's going to Howard," and he would write me right back because he already knew who I was based on my experience and what we had done for the school at the time. So your access is just different when
Mm-hmm.
you go to a school like Howard.
When did you join Alpha Phi Alpha?
That was spring '89.
Okay, spaghetti.
So that semester was a little crazy because I knew I wanted to join.
Mm-hmm.
I'd done everything up to that point to make sure everything happened, but Dad was sick
Mm-hmm.
during all of that time leading up to that point. So the entire Christmas break before I pledged, he was in the hospital
Mm-hmm.
and I actually had to come back home because he passed away in January. So I
Uh,
actually came back home before I pledged.
oh, your dad. Yeah, that's right. Oh,
Yep.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Uh, yeah, it was very, very stressful. I kind of looking back, I knew that there was some differences. I knew there was some type of sickness, but it was never explained to me that it was cancer or leukemia or lymphoma, that kind of thing. And Dad didn't want it like that. He didn't want to tell people he didn't want people feeling pity for him or just
Mm-hmm.
make. He wanted people to treat him the same way.
Exactly.
And he took it all the way to the end like that. It was a little stressful for my mom, but as far as like, that was his choice, and everybody makes a different choice when they deal with cancer. Been able to kind of get people to understand, to take advantage of the time that they have with their loved ones, and don't take it for granted. Spend the time early, often. Hopefully, you'll get a year in advance to know what's going on, as opposed to no waiting till last minute and then, oh, I should have done this. The worst thing you ever want to feel like is, I should have done this and I would have done this. You don't want to be that person. So I've been able to kind of explain it to people over the years, like, no, no. Uncle Sam,
Mm-hmm.
He's the type of person where if somebody else gave you negative reinforcement, he would give you the positive reinforcement and always would tell you you could do it. I have confidence in you, and this is how. If you need my help, just let me know. I'm a phone call away. And it's funny because Jeremy went to Harvard middle school, and so I always used to tell him, I was like, Jeremy, you go to the school that Uncle Lamar was principal
in Manatee.
Yeah. So if that's the case, if somebody gives you a problem, just show them the picture and say, this is my family. And that'll get them straight. And that kind of thing. And so, yeah, just the things that Uncle Mark did up around town and the city. And yeah, we spent so much time with his family as well, that is like my de facto dad. So it hurt last April when everything went down, but everything that he's given to us over the years, I'll never forget. And oh man, that's a piece. It's tough. It's tough. That piece right there. After my dad passed away, especially, I could always call him. I could always call him and be like, Sam, what do you think about this? You think about that? So between my mom's brother and him, that's who I would call. I'll call my other uncles too. I love all my uncles. I have no problem calling anybody. But I can always talk to Sam if I want to hear that straight answer. Like, to the point, what do you think I should do about? He would always give me, not the answer, but he would let me know, just think about it this way. And, not what I would do, but if I was in your situation, I would think about this. Think about it this way, or think about what the other person is going through. And he'll give you every other aspect of how to analyze the entire situation. So that's what he gave me after my dad passed away in '89. So I had 30 plus years of that as well. So I had that support. When I finished my line, Victor was there, Joe was there, Sam was there, my brother was there. Of course, the chapter didn't know all these people were related to me who were coming. I didn't tell them. But of course, when they were there, they're like, oh my God, your whole family. I said, yeah. You think I'm foolish enough to tell you? No, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not telling you anything. You don't need to know. But just know I have that. And that's what it was. And oh man, last year has been crazy. And I'll never forget all of the family that has pushed me, kept me in my place, taught me how to do stuff, and giving me the help. And that, and the thing is, all these people didn't want anything from you. It wasn't for monetary value. It's just because they were your family and they had information to offer you. So I feel obligated at this point. Whatever I could do for other people, at a minute's notice. No, what? You want me to do something? Good, let's go. That's how it was for me. If it wasn't for them pushing me, I wouldn't have been able to do half the things I did. So I definitely feel like, anything I could do for a family member, I'll do it. I have no problem doing it.
So family, I'm sure you, your mom's always there. Your mom's side, your dad's side, your family, your brother, your nephew, your sister-in-law, your alpha brothers, and everybody. So your cousins, and grandparents on both sides. Awesome.